Hi, John Colleen here. I'm going to talk a little bit about our first week in the economics class. This week, we're going to look back in history for chapter one in the textbook. It'll give us some high level history of economics in the United States. It's very important to understand what has occurred in the United States and its relatively short history versus some other countries around the world that have had economic topics for 500,000 years. Anyways, the United States economic history and um, the history of the Federal Reserve, the history of the decision making has been very academic, and the systems have learned from mistakes it's made. Well, this module talk about the Great Depression, talk about the effect of World War One, World War Two on the United States, talk about some of the programs that were initiated in response to the economy, that some of which stuck, like Social Security, unemployment insurance. The United States has learned from its mistakes and tried to get prepared for the next crisis. As we speak right now, we're in the middle of a pretty bad crisis with COVID that is slowly but surely impacting the United States economy. So the Federal Reserve and the U.S. government are doing their best to prevent another Great Depression. So this week, we're going to watch a video about the stock market. You'll listen to a podcast about Ben Bernanke. It's a Planet Money podcast. It's pretty good, short. Make sure you get the gist of what both videos are saying. I have some homework questions from the chapter one. Not many. There's a resource called Quizlet that I recommend you go over some terminology and some simple little games, so to speak, to make sure you understand some of the vocabulary from the module. As always, there's a deck that we'll be covering in class, and you can look at on your own time. Connected with the deck is also something called a voice thread that you might get more out of. You can watch it multiple times, and it is voice led and pretty all the same material, but a little bit of different delivery. As always, throughout this course, there's a discussion thread, and you'll post one answer to the question, and then you're required to make at least one response for full credit to another colleague. So in this one, think about, might be a little rocky at first if you haven't done anything like this before, but think about how you can academically respond to a colleague's post. Maybe you agree with them, maybe you don't agree with them, state why or why you don't. Maybe put something out there, say, hey, have you ever thought about this? You made this statement. What about this? Maybe it's a recommendation of another resource or anything, but step back and think of, instead of us having a conversation in the classroom, which we would have live, how can we communicate with each other and learn from each other, and also critique each other, right? Kind of raise the bar a little bit. So you'll have your first one of this week, and I'll be reading those, sometimes participating in them, but definitely providing some feedback. So make sure you get all your work done before the deadlines, the night before the class, midnight, I think it is. And if you have any questions, please contact me. And I look forward to seeing what your posts are and how you do on your weekly quiz.